Well, good morning, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day today to be with me and do this franchise owner interview. So, why don't we go ahead and start with telling everyone who you are, when you became a right at home owner, how many territories you have, and where your location is.
Sure. Thanks for having me on today to talk about our experience with Right at Home so far. We've been in the system for now 2 years, so that we technically opened in late October of 2021. Not to say that's when the process began. Obviously, we started the process with the franchise um, late 19 or in 2020, during the whole COVID mess. So
Mhm.
kind of started the recruitment process and discovery process, and then speaking with Chuck Pretner, who is the guy who kind of brought us familiar with the brand. um, so we've been doing that since then. So
Perfect.
my name is Vishal Patel. I am a franchise owner in Highland Falls, New York. Um, our location is 1647. That was the first location that we initially invested in. At this point, and this is just short of 2 years later, we are now expanding to our second territory, and that second territory is contiguous with our first. So initially, I had already intended, and I was hoping to be able to control this larger portion of the territory as well, because the county is the same as the the portion where I currently cover. So we are going to be having two territories starting the first October 1st. We're having two territories.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on your expansion.
Thank you.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background prior to coming to Right at Home?
Sure. So before coming to Right at Home, and since before going to college, I already knew what industry I was kind of hoping to gear my career, and that was in the hospitality industry. It's the hotel industry. So I do currently still do work and have interest in businesses in that industry, and I was able to see in 2019 and 2020, especially with COVID, with the nursing homes. Even though I had a day job, I still had an opportunity to invest and was looking for a franchise business to get into.
Mhm.
And with that being said, it's not like I had a ton of money to invest. I didn't have a ton of money to buy a building or an asset, or open another hotel or anything like that on my own. But my wife and I did have an opportunity, have enough money to open a business like this, one that we don't need an asset. We didn't need to own any property for that business to take place. If anything, we're just leasing an office, and that's what we're doing right now. So yeah, 2 years later, we're still in that same office, and we're just will continue to try to grow the business.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. And if you could, if there is a typical day, why don't you walk us through what that looks like for you right now?
Sure. So, like, our typical day starts in the morning. You could be getting a call from a caregiver, your manager, or perhaps even your clients. Depends on how involved you are with some of those steps. Personally, we're still very hands-on, and when I say we, I mean myself. I'm very hands-on. We are still in a growing stage of our business. We're approaching and floating around 500 hours a week. And at that point, I still see that, I can actually handle some of these things myself, and I'm not overburdening my own emotional plate, my
Mhm.
plate to do work, make them, losing time with my family or anything like that. I'm still able to keep my hands on in certain things. Some of those things include, our intakes with our clients, our home visits, in-home consults, and then also our recruitment. So some might think, oh my gosh, why are you handling both sides of it? But it's actually, I'm just handling the initial sides of both things. So in other words, when we intake or bring in a new customer, they're dealing with me until they become our customer. Then
Mhm.
maybe I might have an opportunity to pass it off to some of our staff. Same thing when we're recruiting our new caregivers. I actually want to take a personal place with that right now. One of my strengths growing up in my career has been human resources, retention of staff, motivation of staff, those things that I was able to see as my own strengths.
Mm,
that's the reason I don't want to give those things up when it comes to this business.
mm.
So in recruiting our caregivers, I do take the first hand in doing that myself as well. So I know who we're hiring into this company, and I know who we're trying to serve, and then I'm the one who knows what would be the good fit to go together. So I think that that's one of the most important things that we do here. So it's kind of the reasons that I haven't delegated those tasks at this
Okay.
point.
Okay. So, in thinking about being in New York and thinking about the support that you receive from right at home, what would you say is the most valuable piece in that support?
So I definitely have a lot of experience, and like I said, I've been working in the hotel industry for more than 20 years.
Mhm.
Um, in that hotel industry, it's always been franchise hotels.
Mhm.
I have experience with franchises from Hilton, IHG, Choice Hotels, Best Western, ABVI, and more. So with experience meeting and working with these franchises, I noticed a lot different with working with the franchisor right at home. The
Mhm.
support. Now I know it's a different industry, so perhaps that's part of it why it is, but I don't think that's the full picture. I think right at home does take a really nice approach in their mission. You could see that the mission, which is to improve the quality of life for those that we serve, that's right at home's mission. That's
Mhm.
us right at home's mission at this office, but I feel like that's also the mission in Omaha at headquarters. And the reason I say that is because of the support that we receive through our performance coach, Brian. Um, he literally feels like his role or his intention and his desire is to help us succeed.
Mhm.
And to me, that is the mission. If he's trying to help a franchisee succeed, he is trying to improve the quality of life for someone that he's serving. And
Mhm.
so for us at the office level, we feel like it's a full circle. So the circle goes Omaha is trying to improve our quality of life as a franchisee. We are trying to improve the quality of life of our caregivers, and our caregivers are indeed improving the quality of life for our clients. So, with that being the circle that we preach here at our orientations and that we try to live by with our actions regarding our clients and our caregivers, I feel like it presented itself something different that I haven't experienced in 20 years working in the hotel industry.
Mm, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And, when you think about a candidate looking to become a right at home franchise owner, what would you give as one piece of advice to those prospective candidates?
I would say that for anyone in this business, I might have to give more than one piece of advice.
That's
For
fine.
anyone getting into business, I would honestly say like you have to be doing this for a specific reason.
Mhm.
You need to have a desire to help others. If
Mhm.
you can care about that one point and you have that desire, um, then this could be the right business for someone to get into.
Mhm.
The reason is because there are people out there that need help. And if you care enough, then you can put in the effort to provide that care or that provide that help in a way that actually makes a difference. I mean,
Mhm.
there are agencies already out there that have people lined up that they're going to just send a caregiver to somebody's house, but it
Mhm.
doesn't. That's what we are doing.
Mhm.
We are we are a different approach, right? So, also, I would say that you would need to have a lot of patience, especially at first, if you're starting, a brand new territory or you're just opening and you're not buying an existing territory that's already open. It's going to be slow at first, and you need to get to the point where you can break even with your expenses. And then once you could get there, although there's ups and downs and they remain, the ups and downs do remain. Anyone in this industry and any owners will tell you that. And I've come to see that firsthand. Um, but if you can make it over the threshold where you're having positive cash flow and then keep growing it, put in your sales and marketing as well, that you can actually start to see a profit and positive cash flow with this business.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And obviously, your heart is in the right place. It's evident just in the way you speak about your hands on approach, the commitment you have to your team, and really being intimate with them as well is really, truly what I feel has led to your success and now expanding. So that's just wonderful. And I just want to thank you again for your time today. And we are so lucky to have you on our team.
Oh, I appreciate that so much, and we do appreciate everything we've learned from right at home. I have literally been managing people for more than 20 years, but over the last 2 years and learning from right at home and the way that the approach that we could take, I have learned to be more personable. I have changed my own management style, even though I saw those as my strengths. I
Mm.
could still tweak and change that and make myself even better at it. And in the way that you would think, hey, how did you tweak it? What did you make yourself better at? Well, I'll tell you this. I micromanage less. I'm trusting others more. I'm
Mm.
more engaged with what's there going on in their own lives, regardless of what we're talking about at work. I'm able to assign and walk away with confidence that, hey, even if it's not getting done this minute, my staff now understands where we're coming from, and they have the desire to keep their word as well and perform to their greatest ability, which I noticed comes a little easier now.
Well, thank you so much for the insights, and they were very valuable. So we appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.